Hey there, this is Jacob Corey Gold, and I'm honored to be the host of All the Things Light. I want to talk today about source. In these moments, you and I, whether alone or in a crowd of many, I hear your voice. No matter how loud or muddled the noise, waves roaring or stilled silence emanating from a calm sea. In every moment, you and me, heading in the direction of the light. When I think about source, I think about love. I think about a walk. I think about certainly a walk. Um, and I think about the walk with source, with love, with the Most High God, with creation. I said the other day, I was talking to one of my cousins, and I said, just because I had the thought previously, you're only as vulnerable as your source. And we can look at vulnerability in a lot of different ways in terms of material possession or things that we see. If your source, I'll say it like this, our source, my source, our source, because we are one, our source does not reside in what we see. Our source made what we see by way of hands, by way of brilliance, by way of intelligence, but source is not the visible things that we see. So right now I'm looking at a light. It's a ring light. You can see the reflection in my glasses. I'm looking at a desk. This desk is not the source of this light sitting on it. It can hold it. It can, it's just structured, but it's not the source. And so my heart has really been going out to California, and often when I hear about humanity going through turmoil that each one of us is bound to see in one way or the other. Even when I'm on the road and I'm driving by and I see someone, um, uh, how do you call it? They're stalled out or they have um, uh, a tire that is blown. My heart goes out to humanity in that way. And I was driving one day. This is years and years and years ago. I had a vision. I was driving, and my innermost being asked a question. It's like, what do you see? Of course, I started with what I see. I see cars. I see trees. Matter of fact, I think I started with nature, right? I started with nature. Like I see the sky. I see the sky out there. Or either way, I was naming the things that my eyes were seeing. And so the question came to me several times, maybe 4 or 5 times. And then finally asked the question, what do you see? And the response finally came, I see souls. And my innermost being, love, source came back to me and said, all souls are mine. That's what I mean when I say we all have incredible experiences with the light. It's not defined by anything at all, but your innermost being, something is talking and saying and giving you nuggets to keep you moving forward, omens to keep you moving forward. And so in that moment, I realized that it's not about what I visibly see. It's about realizing that souls and all of creation belongs to a source, belongs to love. And as I move forward, as I continue to walk towards the direction of the light, here we are having this conversation. It's a grand walk when you know you're on your way somewhere. It's also a grand walk when you know that you haven't arrived yet. Yeah, yeah. Knowing that I haven't arrived yet lets me love life. Lets me love my brothers and my sisters right where they are, how they are. not having to want to be just like and be similar and be the same as. That's not what I mean when I say one. When I say we are one, that means that we all have a unique expression that comes from source. And in that we have a unique expression, our obligation, our duty, and um, our justification relies on the fact that I am the expressed image of my source. And that lets me be free to be who I am. That lets me be free to contribute to this beautiful array of oneness. You see one rainbow and it has what Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, indigo, and blue, and violet, if you will. Blue, indigo, and violet. So what is that? Six. Six colors equals one. One rainbow. My grandmother and grandfather had 12 children. That equaled one family. And so, in as much as we are all the expression of source, let's be that. Let's be the expression. Let's walk this walk and realizing that we have a duty. And in that, I get to walk upright. I don't have to be sad. I get to smile in this expression. I get to be 100% myself. And in being so, realizing that I don't have to be afraid of anything. I said a while ago, I said, you're only as vulnerable as your source. Well, that thought has been emanating from me because I've had some thoughts about being on camera. This ain't my favorite place to be. No, it is not. It is not. But in as much as I have so much in me to share, I've said it before, it's driving me. And so the thought came to me, I was pulling up in my driveway. You are invulnerable. Not the first time this thought has come to me. This thought has come to me in my thoughts and my reading. And so now that I'm sharing in the way that I'm sharing, it's like, you would hear growing up, who do you think you are? The child of the king. I'm your brother. I'm your friend. I'm walking right alongside you, walking with you. And so I get to share in this way. And I hope to be able to uh, impact and influence others to share in their way in the most genuine and sincere, unfiltered way, because that's what your expression is. And when you tap into your expression, I guarantee people pay attention. I go to a boot camp. I'm working out, and I've been going through this boot camp maybe 6 months. And the people really, it's a great, great environment. And I hope to have uh, uh, Coach Drea on. I'm gonna ask her to come on one day. But I tell you, the first and second time I went there, I went to her and I said, this feels like church. This is what church is supposed to be. She looked at me and then I said, you a preacher. And now her expression is her expression, but the atmosphere, the community, she says dozens of times while you're there, I love y'all. Now she beating us up in this boot camp. She's getting after us. These workouts is some vicious, serious workouts. But she's like, I'm proud of you. We do hard things. And so the expression there allows for 20, 30, 40 women, men, various sizes, various ages, various ethnicities, backgrounds to be in that. We call it the Fit Fam. And being in that sort of environment lets me know that source is real because we love each other. We ain't judging each other in there. It's a beautiful atmosphere. If I miss a day, and it's I can go to three different classes a day, right? Depending on what hour, I have to pick one. I ain't going to all three. But I was in there today, and the young lady, she said, I was looking for you. And I said, I went to the noon class yesterday. And so she's like, I was looking for you. I was like, it caught me. And then there are others that have said, I'm looking, yes. And so, but it's because I go in there and I'm an expression. I'm in there like, let's go. Yes. And in as much as when your name is called, and somebody knows your name, that is a wonderful, wonderful place to be in. It's not a cliche. When you're in community, when you're encouraged, when you're not battered, but you're lifted up, when love is there, that's when you know that you're a part of Source. You can express yourself when love is around. And let me tell you something, let me tell you a secret. Love is always around because love is in us. It's not external, it's in us. Look in the mirror. I was having a conversation with another cousin one night, and we were having a conversation. I don't know how we got into this conversation. Can't tell you the subject at all. But I said, talking about the Most High God, I want to see God. I said, look in the mirror. I said, pull down. We were sitting in the car. I said, pull down that that what do you call it? The sun visor. I said, open that up. I said, look in the mirror. Love is through and through and through us. And inasmuch as, like I've said before, there are clouds in the sky, that don't mean there ain't no sun there. And so, as much as you may not feel and see it every single time you look in the mirror, listen, love is there. Love created you. Love is source. And there's no vulnerability in source. You get to be free with your source. We get to walk upright. We get to smile. We get to be our genuine expression of love when we know our source. Thank you for continuing to listen. Let us continue to walk toward the light. Grace.